Let's get into another important discussion. Residents in uMhlathuze Municipality, this is in northern KwaZulu-Natal, are constantly in the dark due to vandalism of electricity substations. The municipality says the targeting of the two main substations have led to major power outages. uMhlathuze Mayor Xolani Ngwezi joins us now to discuss this and lots more that is going on in his backyard. Mr. Ngwezi, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. I'd like to start the question this way. So on the one hand, you say there is vandalism of these substations, but then at the same time, you use the word targeting of these substations. So is this vandalism or is this a deliberate targeting of these substations by people who have ulterior motives?
Thank you very much, my brother, Mr. Ngwezi, and to all the viewers at home, especially those who views from the city of uMhlathuze. It is true that we lost a lot of infrastructure in just one substation in Grantham Park. We lost infrastructure to the tune of 800,000 rand, and we're still dealing with issues of claims on the insurances. But we view this as a deliberate sabotage because when you look at how this infrastructure has been vandalized, it's not Paras who doesn't know how many substations work. You can literally say that this is somebody who knows how to isolate and actually make the environment safe for him or her to actually operate in that particular mini substation. So all I'm saying is, the city is being attacked, and unfortunately, the city cannot be able to have funding to secure all our infrastructure because just currently in this financial year, over a period of 3 years, on security of our infrastructure and buildings, we're losing probably more than 280 million rand. And the city's coffers are actually, too much stretch that we can be able to secure everything.
Yeah.
All we normally secure are your substations, not the mini substations. So where vandalism occurred in Grantham Park, in Mpangeni, and also in Aquilia, that is in Arboretum around Richards Bay, are areas that are actually being monitored, I would say not 24 hours, but being monitored like any other infrastructure that we normally don't have physical security there or technology being installed there. Yeah. So this is a new culture altogether, my brother, Mr. Xoli. And I'm calling upon all our...
Yeah. Let me ask this question. I apologize. I'm just pressed for time. Richards Bay, or let's say the city of, or the municipality of uMhlathuze, economically is probably one of the biggest, I suppose, next to Durban or next to eThekwini, and that's because it houses some of the major companies. How does this kind of vandalism affect business? Because then that also has a trickle-down effect in that people are going to lose jobs down the line if this doesn't stop.
Okay. Let me just say that, when we inherited this city, the whole of Richards Bay had a problem with electrical supply. All our main substations were vandalized. Some of them caught fire and all that because of lack of maintenance. I can confirm that we've maintained almost all the substations in Richards Bay. The one we are left with, which we are busy with now, and work is in progress, is the one in the western substation, which is supplying Mpangeni and all other surrounding areas. But for many substations, as I said earlier on, this is actually new. We were not used to this, and we are putting up plans to actually work with the industry and the CPF and subs to actually ensure that these mini substations are also actually protected, through a collaborative effort to ensure that our infrastructure is safe.
Yeah.
But I'm calling all our people, when they see people without wearing our uniform, touching our either electrical or water infrastructure or any kind of infrastructure which belongs to government, to report these matters to subs or report these matters to the municipality so that we are able to react on those areas quickly to safeguard our infrastructure. Just on 2 mini substations, we have lost infrastructure close to 1.6 million rand. And, we can't afford to lose that kind of money because R1 million could actually maintain a new mini substation and give it more years in terms of its lifespan, and we're putting a lot of money as the city to ensure that we maintain now our infrastructure and ensure that it is resilient, it is able to supply services to our people. And we really apologize to our residents, especially in the areas of Arboretum, in the areas of Richards Bay, where vandalism occurred, and Empangeni, Grantham Park, where vandalism occurred, to say that we couldn't supply electricity at least for 24 hours. But we have tried now to find an ad hoc solution. We are able to supply now, and we will be dealing with refurbishment of these 2 mini substations in the days to come, as I indicated that we have claimed through the insurance, because all our assets are insured. And I'm not saying because they are insured, then people must keep on vandalizing them. But we also call on our people where they know that here, this is a potential buyer of these cables that are being stolen or equipment that is being stolen, to report these things on SAPS or even crime intelligence or even to us as a municipality. Because for as long as the buyer of this equipment is still there, the vandalism will not stop because people are making serious money out of these things. And so I'm also encouraging that.
And that was the question I was going to ask next, as to what do you think is the reason behind this vandalism? I think you've answered that particular question. Let me quickly touch on a different topic before we close the conversation. One of the wards in the uMhlathuze municipality, we understand it's essentially the GBV capital of KZN. You will know that gender-based violence and femicide is the #1 pandemic as declared by the president. What are you doing as the mayor of uMhlathuze to try and sensitize people not to engage in such?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just say that I really applaud the president for having actually taken this matter very seriously. I remember when I was in Parliament, he actually declared a state of disaster around these issues and saying we will actually influence policy and also influence laws of the land to be harsh on those that get involved in gender-based violence. But also our leader, when addressing the last conference in 2019, he called upon all the members of the IFPN leaders to actually protect women, children, and the elderly. The Premier, in his State of the Province address, actually spoke very strongly around issues of GBV and calling all of us as champions, of local government, provincial government, and national government to heed the call to actually deal with these matters. We are currently on the draft budget. We will be ensuring that we set aside funding to actually deal with issues of awareness and many other strategies that may be there, working with other sector departments to actually deal with this. It's actually a shame that here in the city of uMhlathuze, in Ward 1, we are regarded in the city as the #1 in the whole of South Africa. It's a shame. So I did actually communicate with the Premier and all other sections in the LTT and so on. We'll be putting up funding, going there and ensuring that we give awareness, but also promote or encourage our people to actually, tell these things, because the problem with GBV is that things start small from the people who are just close to each other, behind doors and so on. So we must also promote the culture of actually telling when things are happening and also discouraging those that are closer to those that are actually being victims or perpetrators to say that we need not to negotiate. When these things happen, we need to report them to the law enforcement agencies, and perpetrators must be held accountable, and where they are found guilty, they must actually face the mighty of the law and account in terms of the law. But all of us, we must actually work together, work with government, work with Amakosi, and work with all other leadership that are there in different communities to actually address this scourge. It's actually getting out of hand. Almost everywhere where we get time in the city, we actually encourage our people to stop these things, but also to share the frustrations and actually report when these things are happening.
All right. Xolani Ngwezi, the mayor of uMhlathuze Municipality, thank you very much for your time.